What's up? How's it going? My name's Jacob Dewitty. If we haven't met, I'm a music artist and a music producer. Today we're going to talk about where to start with music production. Alright, for some credibility, I've been producing for 2 years. I've offered mixing and mastering services, beats, and sample packs, and all of my clients have been pretty happy with their results. I've written, released, and promoted all of my own songs from my home studio. Now I'm at Florida State University studying music production, and hopefully I can show you guys the best ways to learn music production. Alright, the first thing, the most important thing, is figuring out what and why. What kind of producer do you want to be? Do you want to be a beat maker, recording engineer, audio engineer? Do you want to be an independent music artist that produces their music? Do you want to be an industry producer that produces big artists? Maybe you just want to record yourself for fun. That's going to speed up your learning process so you're not so overwhelmed with trying to learn everything at the same time. So step one is to have the basic gear. So what exactly do you need? A good pair of headphones. These are the Sony MDR 7506s, industry standard, not too expensive. And then you'll need a DAW, which stands for Digital Audio Workstation. I will make a video about each DAW and what they do, and which I like best. But ultimately, the best DAW is the one that you know how to use. People's favorite DAW is the one they use first, or the one that they know the best. So really, just pick one. I use FL Studio. I've also learned Pro Tools. FL Studio, you get pretty cheap for lifetime updates, so I'd say FL Studio for sure. If you're struggling, just get FL Studio. You can switch in the future. Maybe Logic. I know a lot of Logic users. Ableton, Logic, FL Studio, Pro Tools. Those are kind of the big four. You've also got other ones. Cakewalk is a free one if you're just trying to dip your toes in the water. And then after that, you just want to start. You want to make something. Because ultimately, if you never produce, how do you know you want to learn producing, right? Learn the basics of what you need to make a song or make a beat, and just do it. That could be how to add a new track, how to drag in MIDI notes. And for this section, you just Google whatever you need to until you figure it out. Alright, now we'll get into the actual skill building and what you need to start with. So I've researched this a lot. I've watched a lot of YouTube videos, done a lot of research. Ultimately, I combined it down into one skill pyramid, what I like to call the skill pyramid. First, the skill pyramid, and then the skill stack. You have to have a framework for how you're going to learn, else you're just going to get overwhelmed with all the clickbaity YouTube videos. And basically, you don't want to do that. You don't want to just be getting tad bits of information here and there. Learn what you absolutely need to start, but then you want to have all the baseline of knowledge in a structured order. This is why you don't necessarily need to go to college if you can organize your learning. So here's the pyramid. So one is composition. So that's basic music theory. Alright, what is a time signature? What is a key signature? How do you write music? What is a chord progression? What's the structure of most songs? All the basic stuff. And I'll make videos on this all in the future. So I'm just gonna basically in this video go over everything very simply, just so you have the framework of what you need to learn. But the information's all out there, so you can definitely learn this on your own. So number one, we got composition. Then we have arrangement and instrumentation. So that's what instruments are you gonna use? How are you gonna arrange them? What's the structure of the song? Then 3, you have sound design and production. Then you have mixing, which is basically the technical part. So that's volume, panning, EQ, compression, everything that's gonna make the track sound good together. So instead of just having all these instruments at different levels, it's all gonna be one. And you have mastering. When you look at the audio file as a whole and make that completely ready for streaming and whatever else you're gonna send it out to. So with mixing, you're looking at all the tracks, all the arrangement, but then you bounce that out and master one WAV file, look at it as one song. And so that's the 5 things. To go over it again, 1 is composition, 2 is arrangement and instrumentation, 3 is sound design and production, 4 is mixing, 5 is mastering. So once you complete this, it shouldn't take too long. I mean, all the information's out there. You can probably find plenty of YouTube videos, but this is gonna be the start of where you learn. And then once you have the basics in all of these, that's where we're gonna move to the skill stack. And we're gonna fill in all the gaps in our knowledge. Alright, so here's the skill stack. So number 1, we got music and production tools. So that's learning about the music studio software, researching all the DAWs, And again, this is after you've got the basics. This is after you've gotten through that skill pyramid. And basically we're going to start over with the basics. So we're going to understand DAWs, plugins, then also music studio equipment. Which equipment do you actually need and which is a waste of money, especially for what you're doing. You know, if you're just a beat maker, you know, spending $700 on a mic might not be the best decision. Studio equipment is monitors, outboard gear, microphones, preamps, audio interfaces, MIDI controllers, headphones, etc. Then you have musical instruments. It helps them know a musical instrument because then you can just write the song, record it, and then producing is easy. You just add all the instruments and layer it. 2 in the skill stack is music and production theory. So of course you gotta learn basic music theory, time signatures, beats and bars, notes, scales, chord progressions. I mean, if you really study music, there's only a few chord progressions that most people use. So you know those, you'll be pretty good to start. And then of course production theory, that's EQ, reverb, compression, delay. And all this can sound overwhelming, but since you've already gotten that basic skill pyramid, now we're just going back and we're filling in the gaps of what we didn't learn then. And then once you've done the research on all that, again, number 3, music and production practice. Practice is where you learn everything. You can research stuff for 10 years, but the fastest way to get better is to actually do it. All this is daunting. That's why I offer mixing and mastering services. As a producer that learned on my own the first couple of years, a playlist like this would be extremely valuable. So next, figure out which style you need, and I'll see you there.